Welcome, welcome. All right, well, let's go ahead and get this started. Thank you everyone for joining in today for Laura and Scott St. John. Before I tell you more about these two unbelievably motivating people, I will share with you how today's session is going to flow and a little bit about me and Fit Pros. So I am Lindsay Johnson, the founder and CEO of Fit Pros. We are a workplace wellness service provider, and we're hired by benefit departments, learning and development teams, and brokers to provide well-being activities that engage the workforce. Given that today's session is free to the public, and for anyone interested in amping up your personal goals, I won't ramble on, I promise. But if you would like to visit fitpros.com, if you'd like to have Scott and Laura into your company to chat with your employees, or interested in more about our virtual services or our cooking classes, pass us along to your benefit teams. We appreciate that. It's fitpros.com. And I would be absolutely ignorant if I did not acknowledge the pain that the world is experiencing, and so rightfully so. This is a movement that should have been in motion so long ago, and that is how I feel. Later today, I will post how Fit Pros is supporting our Black community and how we will be taking action, both internally within our company and raising our voice to raise awareness around the injustices in society. And I am grateful that this has awakened me personally, and I have every intention to do what I possibly can to have Fit Pros be a channel to share the voices. So I will move on with today's session. We highly encourage you to chat in the chat box today and keep the conversation going. We know that you guys are on the line today for your personal goals, and your personal goal might be to help people who are in pain. And so we are so excited for you to join us, for you to take the time for yourself today, because I fully believe that in order to help other people, we have to be strong for ourselves. And by being here today, you're doing that. So congratulations to you for tuning in with us. Laura and Scott have so much to share. I've known them for years and really respect what they are doing in the world. I welcome you to visit lauraandscott.com to learn more. We're gonna put up a slide at the end on how you can get more contact information, and we'll put it in the chat as well. During the session also, if you have specific questions that you'd like Laura and Scott to answer, go ahead and put those in the Q&A that you'll find at the bottom of the screen, and then we'll make sure we address those specific questions, because sometimes they can get lost in the chat. So before we jump in, Jasmine, who is our lovely employee experience manager, she's going to pop up a question today because we want to know why you're joining today. What is driving you to join today's session, and what do you want to walk away with? So go ahead. I'm looking to get unstuck, better self-talk. I'm feeling lost, looking to get inspired and motivated, feeling off track, amped up to amp up my consistency, or I know Laura and Scott or Fit Pros. So please go ahead and tell us what you would love to take away from today. And now a little bit about today's session. So if you are feeling like you're falling back into your old ways, you're feeling stuck, or you're trying to reach a goal, and you're ready to take some massive action towards a dramatic shift, then this workshop is for you. Featured in Shape Women's Health, ABC News, Fox News, Laura and Scott St. John inspire fitness and health to new limits and their lifestyle movement of strong, confident living. This power couple takes the juiciest, life-changing content and breaks it down into simple, actionable steps that you can take right now. So whether you're seeking a big or a small change in your life, Laura and Scott will pack a punch of motivation so that you can stop struggling against your old ways and learn a refreshingly new approach. So for more information about their programs, visit lauraandscott.com. And we're gonna put up one more poll here. And this is an amazing, if everyone wants to take a look at the results here that came in, the biggest thing that people want to take away from today's session is that they're looking to get inspired and motivated. That is 54% of people on the line today are looking to get inspired and motivated. Well, you are absolutely in the right place. So that is perfect. And quite frankly, Laura and Scott are going to touch on everything that came up today. So it was a little sneaky of us. So last thing before I hand it over to Laura and Scott, we want to ask you guys, what area, if there was one area that you are looking to enhance, what would that be? So Jasmine, can you launch the second poll for us? I didn't see that pop up. There we go. Areas of relationship, finance, physical health, emotional health. Go ahead, drop it in. Let us know. What areas of your life are you looking to enhance? So really appreciate the responses that are coming in. Keep the chat going in the chat box. Specific Q&A, again, down at the bottom of your screen. Laura and Scott will jump on that. So without further ado, welcome Laura and Scott St. John. Thank you so much. Take it away.
OMG, thank you, thank you, thank you. First of all, thank you, Lindsay and Jasmine, and to the entire team at Fit Pros. We so appreciate the time, and I thank you for bringing up the relevance of today, and just that, just we were like, should we stay muted today? And we really do want to help you, everybody. And it's just an important cause. So I just want to say thank you to Deborah and those of you who are, inside the community. And we just want to help today. Just, we call it up spiral your life. How do we take a down spiral? How do we take a struggle? How do we take something that's very relevant going on and flip it to a positive? So as a society, as individuals, we can work together and we can make stuff happen. And with that, we've been able to, over the last 24 years, we've been working together. Today's our work anniversary. My husband and I working together. June 3rd, 1996, we started working together. So how ironic. I do not believe in coincidences that we've created a lifestyle movement that have not only helped us, but has helped now hundreds and thousands of people all over this world get better and get unstuck. So I believe if you're here, there's no coincidences. There's literally no coincidences in even how we met Lindsay and Fit Pros. It's like one of those instances where a friend of a friend was like, you two have to meet. Like back in the days when we used to live in Colorado. We now live in Malibu, California. We have 3 beautiful young boys. Well, not so young anymore. 16, 14, and 10 they're turning. Our lives are extremely busy. And who's not busy? But when you're busy working towards goals that you are actually like really excited to wake up to every single day, to feel inspired and motivated to take action, you feel great about being busy and feeling inspired in work. So I love the polls coming in. You guys are total rock stars. And you're meant to be here in this moment. So physical health, emotional health, we will be tapping into everything that we've talked about today. We've created that movement of strong, confident living. And we're going to share with you today 3 areas that we have found over the years of not only doing it ourselves, but coaching thousands of people, of where people didn't even realize where they were going wrong, that were aha, what I call ding, ding, ding moments that you can flip today and have an immediately new result. Because everyone's a rock star. Amen.
Well, let's start right there. I'm Scott. I'm Chief Attitude Officer at Strong Confident Living, and I'm here to give you that dose of what exactly you're looking for. I mean, what you guys put in the poll is truly what we're here to do today, and is to help you get unstuck. But it really starts with one concept. You are all rock stars. And what we're going to do here today is really try to give you some simple steps and a blueprint to take you off of this, what we call the roller coaster of life, and put you on that train track, right? That train track that's going to give you into that chugging, just great momentum for you to crush and achieve your goals. We call it You 2.0.
Mm-hmm. I think that, it's important to understand that over 24 years, we started dating at 19 and 20, and we're now 44, 45 years old. And our whole goal was like, look and feel better with every decade. You know, we were living back in Connecticut when we first met. New Jersey, Vermont is where we're from.
Everywhere.
And it was like, you know, we were like, let's move west. Like, let's have a kid. Let's name our first boy Sam. Like, we've set all kinds of goals and then we've been able to achieve them, but it's not been all smiles and rainbows. And something that people love in terms of the takeaway of what you're going to find from us today is that, you know, there's an authenticity of being real, that not, you know, it's how you show up in the struggle, how you show up, you know, how to find that strength when things are hard, how to find that confidence in the chaos when life is feeling really chaotic. And, you know, that's something that we've been through ourselves. I think it's something that unites us in terms of our human spirit, is that we all struggle. And we've had tough times financially. We've had tough times in our relationship. We've had tough times with our kids. We've had tough times with our work. We've had tough times in all different areas of our lives. And yet the stronger you get as individuals, the more you can get stronger as a team, as a unit. And that is what we really want to bring today in terms of hope, because what we've uncovered is that it's not always easy. And Scott's going to bring me through his guiding principles, but we've developed a 3-step approach that we're going to share with you. And, you know, it's because we've done it too. And we still use it. We still employ these same steps that we're going to give you today, because people look at us now and we're living in Malibu and we've got this beach life and it's like awesome. And, you know, yet we still struggle, and then we employ these things, and it's how quickly we get back up, and we've been able to practice this. And then we've been able to do it for all ages. So we used to run an education technology company for kids ages 3 to 8. We've run gyms for 7 years. We now run a completely virtual business, you know, to bring this to more people. But the bottom line is we've been there. And whether we're working with an 11-year-old child, or, you know, who wants to, like, you know, need some help, or a 70-year-old grandma who's looking to, you know, get in shape, or whatever it is, it's like we can use these same 3 steps and anyone can do it. Which kind of leads us to our guiding principles. Before we get into the juicy sauce, I want to kind of align to you from a heart place philosophically of where we're coming from. You want to share yours first?
Yeah, I share mine first because it's really simple, right? This is the black and white and the gray of the relationship right here.
Well, the black and white, like, cut it through it, and I'm like every shade of the rainbow.
And how it actually comes together in a beautiful, like, marriage. I have a very simple philosophy when it comes to my guiding principle, and it's KIFS. And to keep it nice here with this broadcast, keep it effing simple. And I really mean that by, we get so caught up and we make things so complicated that sometimes it feels like it just inhibits us from actually doing and achieving what we're setting out to do. So I say it all the time, anyone can make something complicated, but it takes our real genius to make it simple. And when you can KIFS it, right, everything becomes a lot more clear, you become a lot more creative, and you actually get more done. So that's mine.
So yeah, Scott keeps it simple because I would be the one that's like, I'm the spiral, like I see all perspectives.
You're
and whatever your mindset is right now, you know, that I'm a mindset coach and Scott is a fitness trainer. So when we come at it, you know, we're going to really give you this very 2-pronged approach of our very different perspectives to get to the same outcome, which is to help you crush your goals. And, you know, it's as a mindset coach, I always say, you know, what is mindset? I put on my lens. Okay. Your mindset is your lens. And sometimes you need to clean up that talk within your mind, that self-talk. And I'm going to work with you today on how to get really clear with your mindset. Scott takes sometimes a more physical approach. So when we 1-2 punch things, I always tend to overcomplicate, and you would really help me just like clear out all the emotion, all the thoughts, and just get right to the purpose. And we're going to help you do that today, because I'm going to share with you my 3 guiding principles, which number 1, ding, ding, dings, my ding, 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 awareness bell again, like awareness. Number 1 is trust in the process and trust in yourself. Okay. You are here out of the billions and billions and billions of people on this planet, I believe, for a reason and a purpose and a voice, and your voice is meant to be heard. Okay. So trust in yourself and trust in the process, because just when things, like, how relevant is this right now? Just when things feel like struggle and chaos. If you can tap and embrace and trust that it's all unfolding, like maybe exactly how it's meant to be unfolding, which is my second principle, which is not just trust in yourself and the process that you are an amazing human being that's meant to be heard, but there's a process that's unfolding. So number 2 is embracing that you are exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. Like, and if you can stand in that, you will find your strength. Okay. And you will find your voice, because you could be like, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be in this moment amidst this chaos going on in our world. How do I step into my power? Okay. And that is what we want to teach. And that, because it's in everybody, it's in everybody. And that third step of my guiding principle is going to show you in terms of the underlying stuff that's about to go down with our 3 steps, is that, stuck is just a feeling. Like, stuck is just a feeling. It is not a thing. And when you're feeling stuck, and when you're feeling like, everything is full of doubt, and when you're feeling like everything's not meant to be in this moment, you stay stuck. And a lot of people that we coach, we've seen, like whether it's organizations or kids or humans or anyone will be like, we want to help you get unstuck. How can we help you get unstuck and give you more of a voice? How do we help you step more into your power? And it's embracing that trust, embracing that, releasing that doubt, embracing that you're exactly where you're meant to be in this moment, even amidst the imperfections that you can look out and see right now, that we are all going to work together and clean up. And then that third step of just like, okay, well, let's get unstuck. So let's go into the 3 steps now and really unstuck ourselves through our 3-step process of where people go wrong. And I think sometimes that's the biggest ding. We're going to shine light on where do the people that we've worked with, thousands of people and huge organizations, like where do people go wrong? So you can have these aha moments, which as a teacher at heart, I'm just like, I want you to have that aha moment today. That's not going to take you 21 days or 6 weeks to like figure things out. You can leave today a different person with a different mindset and a different perspective on your current struggle, so you can move into more inspiration and motivation, which is what a lot of people were coming for. So we're going to get right into it. So the 3 areas that we're going to talk about are how to commit and get really clear on a goal. Okay. Because sometimes it's very fuzzy for people. So we're going to teach you our steps of where people go wrong and what to flip it today. Then we're going to go into how to fuel that goal. How do you actually now go into some momentum with that goal, and where do we see people go wrong? And then the third step is taking massive action towards that goal. So those are going to be the 3 areas of the agenda today, and I can't wait to dish out. So we're going to 1-2 punch each of these 3 areas, starting with you, babe, with the goal. Let's commit to the goal.
Right? Starting very simple. You got to have a clear goal, right? You've heard it 100 times, 1,000 times. I'm sure you can't score without a goal.
You can't score without a goal.
There you go. So thank you for that.
So to underline it.
So again, ding, ding. So think about that right now. And I really love this message and this line. So I wrote it down, or I made sure I said it correctly. Courage is the commitment to begin without the guarantee of success. I want you to think about that for a second.
Can you just say that a little slower for me?
Thank you. Think about that for 1 sec. Courage is the commitment to begin without the guarantee of success. Think about how profound that is, right? We are all, a lot of the times, so scared of the end goal that we never truly start, right? We're so scared of setting the big goal that we never truly set what we really, really want. So this is where I want you guys to all kind of close your eyes and dig in for a second, right? Who are you? And what do you really want? One of the things I really work with people when we're doing our workshops and working with people, whether it's in groups or individually, is really getting down to being unapologetically you, and how important that is. And it's going to start with one of my key concepts. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Nothing ever changes in comfort. We just go about our thing. It's all great. It's not that hard. It's not, it's not that exciting. It's just blah, right? However, step into uncomfortable. What happens? Your heightened senses. Everything becomes a little bit more dramatic, right? Your ups, your downs, everything. So I want you to think right now, what are the goals that you've set? And have you truly stretched yourself? Are you truly setting a goal that scares you? I know some of you are saying, I don't know if I've done that.
Right.
Right? And I really want you to think about that, right? Because again, we set goals that we think we want because we're like, yeah, I think, that's kind of simple. I can do that. I'm here to tell you, no. I'm here to tell you, I want you to set a goal so scary you can't sleep at night because it excites you. It excites you. Because remember, when it comes down to it, we're all rock stars and we all deserve what we want. And we all deserve to be a little uncomfortable to get there because that's how your change happens. So what I want you to do in step 1 is commit to a big goal. Commit to a goal in which then we break down. So we do our daily actions, our weekly actions, our annual actions. So we stay the course. But right now, start thinking about what's my big goal.
And make it bigger. I like to say, whatever you're thinking, think bigger. Okay, whatever you're thinking, think bigger. Wherever you have some discomfort right now, know that's part of change. Like, look at how uncomfortable the world is right now because we are changing. Okay, we are changing as a society. And when you, again, respect that we are in a state of change and transformation, it's really uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable. So how do you want to show up in that? I'm going to take you through this part of the goal setting process, so we're still in step 1, which is committing to a clear goal. And I'm going to take that shift from how do you take that discomfort and find your clarity so you can find your voice. And, that's a lot of what's going on right now. People being like, I don't want to look at the discomfort, or I don't want to experience the discomfort. It feels painful to me. And we say, you don't need to stay there in the discomfort. What you do need to do is we need to embrace the change. So, and what brings change? Courage. And courage comes from clarity of what you don't want, so you know what you do want. And when we started coaching people, again, whether you are looking to change the world and change something like a whole, society, or whether you are literally just looking at a goal being like, I want to lose 50 pounds or 30 pounds or 100 pounds, it's the same process. And what I love to do is take a piece of paper, and I'm going to help walk you through one of the very simple ways right now to flip that commitment of a goal into something that's so clear, like you've never seen it this clear before. Okay, so this is my gift. He's Chief Attitude Officer and cuts through the attitude, and I'm Chief Inspiration Officer. My goal is to help fuel the intuition that's inside you, the inspiration that's all within you right now, that every answer you need, every solution you are looking for is inside you in this exact precise moment. That's why I say trust. Embrace it. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Stuck is just a feeling. Let's get unstuck with clarity right now. So take out that piece of paper, fold it in half, okay? And on the top of the piece of paper, you just write, flip it, okay? This is when, again, we're just keeping it PG-13 here. I sometimes say, just when you want to say F it to something,
We flip it.
We flip it. Our F is a flip. Okay, let's flip our world around. Starting with ourselves. Let's flip our struggle around. Inside the darkness of every down that we experience, of every struggle that seems so difficult, is a little seed of desire. And when it's uncovered in there, it's the most beautiful seed to water. Okay, but it is hidden inside it right now. Just like think of turmoil in your own life. Think of turmoil that's going on a larger scale right now. Inside this turmoil that we can see a lot of darkness, or we could feel a lot of pain, there is a beautiful seed, and it is hiding. And it is our job to say, I can't see it, but I trust and I have faith in the unknown that it is there. And the inside, there's, Newton's law of like every problem has an equal and opposite, solution. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Well, when you move towards a solutions-based view, which is what this is going to do, it's exponentially more powerful than the negative side. Okay, exponentially. And that's how we're going to, by the end of this, teach you how to step into it and fuel it into massive inspired action towards a goal. But first, you have to get clear in it. The way you get clear because again, teaching thousands of people over the years, it was like, okay, I want to get healthy. I want to lose some weight. I want to make more money. Okay, I want to live at the beach someday. Okay. And I'm like, okay, but if I were to tell you, I need to get to Malibu, California, and I want to rock my body, look and feel better in my 40s than I did in my 30s, like those are locking in coordinates. And if you don't lock in the coordinates, like you can end up at a beach, at another place in the whole world.
Or like we were talking about earlier, you just keep driving and driving around the circle.
Yeah. If you feel like you're like, oh gosh,
you don't know which way you're going.
I am in the same place I was, last June, or, you get to December at the end of the year and you're like, another year, I'm in the same place going into next year. And that's what we're seeing because people are not locking in these coordinates. So let me teach you how to lock in the coordinates with this flip it list. So at the top of the page, you write flip it. Okay. And then at the left side, I want you to think of something that you so clearly do not want anymore in your life. Okay. It can be a feeling. It can be a situation. It can be because because it's not like, so this is instead of saying, well, what goal do you want? Which is often vague. That's the point.
Well, it's all, the reason why we start with what you don't want, because it's very typically clear.
It's clear. You're way more
very clear sometimes about what you don't want. So that's why we're starting here.
And that's what happened to us years ago. I was like, I don't want to have a husband. I don't want to be working all the time. I don't want to feel like I'm like half, working and then half with my kids. I don't want. And we looked at each other and we're like, well, what's the opposite of that? And are we being that clear? Are we just saying, oh, we just want a better life? That's not clear. So I want you to get really clear in something you don't want. So let's just say right now, you're uncomfortable. A lot of you had health goals. So, you would say something on the left side. So on the left side is what I clearly do not want. Okay. I am so sick and tired of ... And you just start literally like, and whatever you can continue this process after this webinar. Yes. I do one almost and every single day that I want to flip my life around or flip this feeling around. It could be feeling a lack and you want to feel then abundance, because everything that we recognize is that most people are working towards a very either unclear side of what they do want or a very clear side of what they don't want and moving from that list. And it's going to start you off in a negative place. So just own the negative. Be like, I don't want to feel uncomfortable in my skin. When I zip up my clothes, I want to lose 15 pounds, but ultimately it's not just that you want to lose 15 pounds, right? It's, I want to be healthy, or I don't want to feel, first let's start with the negative. I don't want to feel like uncomfortable when I walk in the room, or like I'm self-conscious, or that I'm weighing myself all the time, or I'm measuring. So really just put some down. And that's what I would really love you to do in the chat is in the chat, specifically share and be vulnerable, because this is going to help you all flip it to something you absolutely do not want right now in your life. Okay. And think of it, because some people said financial, some people said emotional, some people said physical. Write down something that you absolutely do not want. Okay. Poor health. Okay. And tap into the feeling of it. Like, I don't want to feel with my poor health, like anxiety, worried. Yes. Beautiful. A job I don't like. I don't want to feel tired all the time. Weak, lazy, fear, doubt, all of this,
right?
Negative self-talk, defeated. Okay. Lack of confidence. Okay. Feeling amazing. Okay. So you guys can keep dishing it. Now, how refreshing is it that like most people are going to try to like just now move into action from this place. And this is going to be the refreshing is that I want you to draw on a line. If you were just going to put your 1 to 3 items that you do not want, and you draw a line to what you do want on the other side. So this is the don't want list. And this is now going to be clarity. This is your line of clarity. And I mean, we could do a whole full hour just on this one flip it list, but I'm just trying to give you the gist. So before we move on to the next 2 steps, is have the clarity now to say, if I don't want a weight loss failure, I want to love my body. Okay, I want to feel successful. I want a happy marriage. I want to feel self-confident. I want positive self-talk. I'm just going through what I see of you guys in your notes here. You know, I don't want to feel lazy. I want to feel motivated. I want to find a harmony for all my lazy people out there, that it's not lazy. I want to find a harmony with giving myself time to rest and relax and work in an inspired way. Okay. Fear and doubt. I want to feel,
Confident.
I want to feel confident regardless of what's going on around me. Doubt. I want to trust more in myself and in others.
Perfect.
Debt. I want to feel abundance.
Perfect.
You know, instead of struggling, I want to feel like I'm in a flow with life, not constantly struggling against myself. So I could go on and help you guys flip it. But the point is that until you are clear in what you don't want, you have to match your goal to not be so vague and fuzzy, not just be like, I don't want to be, you know, tired. It's, I want to wake up and feel like, you know, like I don't have to get a second wind all day long.
I think the most important part is we have to flip everyone from starting where we don't want, and we have to flip it to what we do want. And this is what we focus on, right? Because if you do all of your action from over here, guess what you end up with? That's a dramatic pause. Everything you don't want,
Yes.
Right? And it just recycles and regurgitates over and over and over again. And this stinks.
Yep.
Okay.
This
so
is exhausting.
the flip it is what, so it's so easy to start here.
Right.
And then it becomes so clear to be like, oh, the opposite is this.
Right.
And that's where we go into action. And that leads us right into step 2.
Right.
Okay.
Yes,
that leads us right into step 2, because
just
she'll
the
keep
steps.
going. She'll keep going.
I got so much to share with you.
And there's more to us for that down the road. But let's get into step 2, which is now let's fuel this goal, excuse me. All right. And for me, how do we fuel this? It all starts between your ears. I cannot emphasize this one enough, right? Everything you want, everything you achieve, everything you do starts right here, guys, right? This is our strongest muscle. This creates everything. So we need to fuel our attitude. We need to fuel ourselves with that commitment that you can achieve what you believe. Remember that. If you believe all the things you don't want, guess what? You're going to achieve those. If you believe all the things you do want and you focus and you're clear on those, you will achieve those. You just have to stay clear and you have to stay committed. I want you guys to take out one vocabulary word in your vocab as of today. And that's the word can't. I was told when I was 7 years old by my grandfather, I was explaining something to him and I said the word can't, and he stopped me in my tracks and he pointed his finger at me and he said, Scott, I don't ever want to hear the word can't out of you ever again. It's not in the St. John dictionary. And it was like, boom. And I have held that sensation and that memory in my mind since then. And it's become so powerful, because when you replace can't and you flip it to can, you become more engaged. You become more powerful. You become that better version of you. So in order to start fueling this goal, again, I want you to start with the idea of it's right here, right? Because excitement, like it's so great. You get excited. You're like, yeah, these are the things I want. Well, guess what? Excitement fades, right? Attitude will not. Because your attitude is you. Your attitude is what your being is, and you create that attitude. Don't forget that, right? You create who you are, what you look like, what you feel like, what you project onto the world. The moment you decide you're that rock star, it all changes. So we're going to fuel our goal starting with number 1, attitude. And how do I do that? There's 2 ways in which I go about doing that. One is through a workout. Right? I call it my attitude adjustment. I'm an attitude adjuster, right?
Yes,
I do that through our workouts. And they're not necessarily that they're really long workouts. I believe that you can get intentionally intense in a quick situation. So I deliver 15 to 30-minute workouts, right? But I do it in a way that uplifts and inspires people so they leave feeling like a complete bad, you know what? Because that's what I want you to do. I want you to have attitude. I want you to feel like a rock star, right? And then I also do it with this thing that I do every single morning. and I get out of the shower and I stand there and I look at myself in the mirror. Do that every day. And look at yourself in the eyes and repeat these words. I am strong. I am confident. I can, I will. Look yourself in the eyes when you do that. Feel what those words feel like. Do it every single day. Because again, when we show up 100% ourselves and we are unapologetically ourselves, we emulate that out onto everyone else. And it has a trickle effect. That's called change. So number one on this, setting and feeling your goals, right? It's attitude. Number two, Laura's beautiful at this. Imagination.
Imagination. So now you've flipped a goal, right? Go from the negative to the positive. And now we're fueling that goal. That should be clearer to you. It should be bigger for you. And now you have the I can, I will. Can you just share your tattoo for a second? It is tattooed. I can, I will on my husband's arm. So we do not forget it in this household. Our three sons, it's just like, I can, I will.
It's our DNA.
And it's in everybody's DNA, because really think about those words. I can is teaching us I am capable. Okay. I am as a human being, I am capable. I'm capable. And I will is like a strong will is what we consider willpower, which is the power of will is the power of free choice. And choice is something that we all have as a human, is that like we have choice to respond. We have choice to react, and we have choice to choose an attitude. And, that's what we really want for every single human, is to tap into that power of how can I tap into my willpower right now? How can I tap into my attitude? Now, I do it through imagination. I do all the things on the inside, that Scott just then brings out to the physical outside. But it's all an attitude adjustment, because if sometimes like I can't adjust myself through my thoughts, that I'm going to share with you how I do it through imagination. I do say, babe, just
stop, drop, and work out.
No, I need a physical attitude adjustment. Like that self-talk is not changing in my head. So just bring me into an intense workout situation where I have to get my body and mind aligned to the power of right now, so I could feel the moment and then re-execute. So if there's like a power between both sides, and maybe you're a more physical learner, so you might love he's a more physical, hands-on learner. And, that's been great working with kids. We used to work with thousands of 3 to 8 year olds over the years. We had 700 locations where we worked with 3 to 8 year olds all day. It was so fun. They were the best customer of all, right? They were like so real, so authentic. They just told us how it was. And we're like, okay, this is the real deal. But we notice, everyone has a different learning style to get to what you want in your goal. And that's you have that very physical approach to it. Mm-hmm. And I have a more thought-based approach. I would probably be like thinking my way there. You would be doing my way there. So the mix of us is kind of a unique mix. So I'm going to talk with you how, this little sandwich of information, again, to get to the same stuff, because there's no wrong way. Okay. There's only your way. And my way has been really helpful to me, and lots of, especially when I coach kids and, all kinds of people who love to tap into their imagination. Because what I recognize in terms of people not doing it right is they were like, Laura, I don't have an imagination. Like I lost that when I was 10 years old, or like, and I'm like, first of all, okay, when you're washing the dishes, are you only thinking about the dish that you're washing right now? Or like, hey, if you're driving right now, are you only like examining the road? Or are you like letting your mind wander just a little bit? Like, are you thinking about anything else? Because your imagination is your mind thinking about something that's not happening in this very instant. So we've trained ourselves mostly, I might be speaking to you, and let me know in the comments if this is you. Do you worry about anything? Okay. If you worry, that is you putting your imagination. It's, I always say hate is the absence of love, and worry is love moving in the wrong direction towards fear. Okay. It's literally taking our imagination, one of our greatest superhuman powers, okay, because no one can come inside your body and imagine except you. And I love this, because when we worked with kids in like inner cities and stuff, and, we would get escorted into schools, and we would be working with people, and I'd be like, you can imagine your way out of here. You can imagine yourself in a better situation. And it just would bring tears to my eyes knowing the impact that we would have on these kids, because no one but you is in charge of your attitude. No one but you is in charge of your imagination. And if these are the two things that can fuel the goal that you're clear on, and they're free tools to use, okay, you have the rights to use them right now, that's amazing, because we can then help you change your life, and you can be the example for a life changer, a game changer. And that's what imagination does for me. Is can you tell I get a little excited about imagination? Because Scott calls it Laura Land. I go into Laura Land every single day. I'm like, even my boys know now. I'm like going into, they're like, all right, Mom, like I need 20 minutes. And guys, I didn't think I had 20 minutes years ago. If you were like, when we were in a tough time in our lives, I'd be like, I don't have 10 minutes to work on myself. It was 10 minutes in their day. And I would rattle off my to-do list, be like, I have this going on, that going on, that. Okay, can you relate to that? Being like, I don't have time for myself. Okay, I was putting everything else first but myself. That is not how you inspire change. Okay, by putting yourself last. That is not an inspiration, because so many of us are putting ourselves last, and the world is not calling for that anymore. So let's tap into imagination. Are you using it incorrectly? Are you using your imagination to project something that hasn't happened yet, imagining the negative outcome and pouring your energy and focus into the negative outcome? Okay. And this is really important, because you can shift that at any time. Okay. And so let's flex it correctly. One is you take your flip it list from a moment ago. Okay. And you're like, well, I'm really uncomfortable in my jeans, or I don't want to feel like a failure in my business, or whatever your goals were that you don't want. And most people then spend their time exhausted all day thinking about, worrying about, and then even what we'll cover in our next step, even going into action from that negative place. Okay. So if you worry all the time, or you worry about the things that are really big and daunting inside of in your reality right now, it doesn't mean they don't exist. It means that you aren't working from the left side of your list, and it's exhausting to your brain. It's exhausting because it sucks your energy.
Yeah, it's exhausting to your whole entire body.
It's exhausting to everybody. It's not going to bring your best you into this world. It's not where you're going to help other people, and it's not going to get you anywhere. It's going to put you back in the roundabout. Okay. Because you're going to be like, well, I don't get it. I was uncomfortable. So I just did this new diet, and now I'm here and I'm on another diet. Okay. Yeah. Because you're working from this side. So to flex your imagination in the positive direction, you have to flip it. Okay. Again, back to the flip it, where you create the imagery for yourself and beyond just a vision board. So let us know in the chat if you've ever made a vision board, but I'm going to teach you a couple of things of what a lot of people do in vision boarding that is not helpful. So you can flip those too. And again, we could do workshops on each of these things, but I'm going to just highlight the key points. So with your fueling imagination is you want to flip to this other side. So, well, if being inconsistent towards your fitness goal is not something you're sick and tired of, and being consistent towards your fitness goal is on this side of what you do want, it's way different when you create now your vision board from here, saying like, well, maybe it's this person that's running in the rain. Like I know my sister has that up on her vision board. She has a guy who's running in the rain, and she's like, not that I want to go out and run in the rain, but I want to be the person that develops the habit of consistency. So it would be like the guy you see running out in the rain who does it no matter what. Okay, so it would be that. And when you start to create a vision for yourself from this side, the side of what you want for yourself, it will not feel exhausting. It'll feel exhilarating. It'll feel exciting. It'll feel like the pen is in your hand to write your next chapter of your life. So flexing imagination should not just be, because here's where people go wrong. They just put the big fancy Malibu house. They put the, body, the bikini they want. They put the, money that they want in the bank account. They even start to get specific. But if you just put the thing and, on the list or on your vision board without also the feelings of who you are when you're at that place, often you might just see that bikini, or you might see like sometimes an old picture of yourself that you put up on your vision board, be like a reminder of how you used to be or the things that you want. And you can look at it And then you feel from your imagination that it's a big fat reminder of everything you're not. Okay. And that's a ding, ding, ding moment right there. Is that over and over and over again, people are looking at their goal, creating a vision around it with their imagination, but allowing it to fuel the feeling of lack, of everything I am not in this moment right now, or everything I do not have, or I will never get there. And suddenly they feel the gap between where they are right now and where they want to be. And if this speaks to you, this is how you flip this, okay? Start putting images of who are you when you have that house, you know, and then bring it into the everyday. So, you know, you're having a cup of coffee or brushing your teeth right now anyway. Like, who are you when you have that house and you're brushing your teeth and you have a cup of coffee? Picture that. Okay, put that, like sometimes I just put that toothbrush, being like, all right, I'm still brushing my teeth, whether I live in this house, that house, have this kitchen, that kitchen, live in this body, that body. Okay, and you start to really bring it into your everyday. Also, engage more senses. You are a multidimensional creature. You have to see, okay, I always say insight is more powerful than eyesight. Don't just use your vision. Okay, when I mean vision, like just like even now, I keep saying the world, you know, people that are looking to be heard, like hearing starts with your ears. Okay, listening is in your heart. Okay, eyesight you see, but insight is like something again that you will feel. So make your vision board multi-dimensional like you, because you're a multi-dimensional human. So I want you to go beyond just eyesight of images and think the day-to-day and how you're feeling. I want you to add in sound. I knew I wanted to live in the beach. I knew I wanted to get to palm tree life. I was living in the mountains. Bring in sound. So I downloaded an app where I played beach waves. Like I played ocean every single day. And I was so used to it, even when we moved here to the beach and we could open our window right now and hear the ocean, I would still play the app. I was so used to it. He's like, what are you doing, Laura? Like,
We have the app.
We still have the app. Like, I'm playing the ocean because I want to hear it every day. I love it. And then, you know, when we lived in Colorado, Scott trucked in sand for me, like in our mountain house. Like he literally trucked in a whole pile of sand.
We made our own beach.
So we made a beach and I could feel my toes in the sand. But again, like I could still wrap my hands around my favorite cup of coffee and imagine myself there. What does it feel like to be there? How can I hear it? How can I see it? How can I be more of that person as if I'm already there? So, you know, the first part again of this, before we now go into the action part and finish you off with like dramatic, massive action, just to, you know, regroup, that first part is really commit to get clear and not unclear on what you want. Get really clear today on flipping it. Tap into the fuel then of attitude and imagination and make it multidimensional like you deserve. Okay, so you can feel the essence of you being in that version of yourself, knowing you're like, gosh, when I make a vision board and I can imagine myself living this life, like I would even imagine driving the boys to school and being like laughing in the car, whether it was in Denver, Colorado or Malibu, California. I'm like, I'm still going to laugh with the boys in the car. Like we're still going to turn the music up, those kinds of things. So you need to bring it into your everyday, because a lot of people are pushing their happiness back and not allowing the happiness in until you receive the end goal. And if you don't flex, or I call it snack on happy all day, okay, if you don't snack on happy everywhere in your current life, you will never allow in the gratitude, which is going to open the pathway to what you actually do want to achieve next. So it's a really important part of it all. And I like to make it very multisensory, as you can tell. Yeah.
Well, again, the more senses you involve, right, the better it adheres to you. So that's why it's so important, bringing back our educational days, it's so important to have multisensory experiences, because it's like glue. But that leads us right into step number 3, which is go into action. Do it, right? This is actually one of the most really important steps. You know, I tell people all the time, right, your journey starts with a single step. And how each of these steps really do create the massive action. And I want you, let's put it towards working out, let's say, right? Maybe you're inconsistent with working out, or you're not, you're a worker outer, as my wife would say, right? Think about it as you're able to do one more rep, right? Especially if you're just starting, do the one more rep, just do it. because that one more rep is one more than you've done. It gets you one step closer. So if you're trying to do 10 reps and you only do 8, don't beat yourself up over that, right? Celebrate your accomplishment, because what did you just do? You did it. So many people talk about it, and that's what we work with people on how to change. Instead of talking, we get people into doing, and how that doing really leads you towards the success of your goals. And, I tell people all the time, I'm like, I want you to just draw the line in the sand, right? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Draw the line in the sand. And when you do that, I can't drag you over that line. You need to take the first step, right? And once you take that first step, it's all over, right? We talk about this all the time. The hardest weight is the door. Open the door. Everything else gets easier. Trust me. Just open the door, right? And I just keep going on these, but how you show up in the hard time defines who you are. So how you show up during this action, during your momentum into massive action, defines who you are. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, there'll be days in which you think, can I? And that's when you just kind of go back into imagination. You go back into attitude. You remember your goals, and you take another step. Every day your steps will be different. Some days your steps will seem huge. Some days your steps will feel tiny. But guess what? They're all equaling up to a massive change. You just need to do it.
And let's just talk about the detour, because sometimes it gets really uncomfortable. So first of all, let's talk about like the initial goal might feel uncomfortable, right? Like we said, commit to something that stretches you because you so clearly don't want it anymore. So now you're getting clear on what you want, but that want feels like such a big stretch. Now it's sometimes you imagine that it's a straight line. It's going to be all again, easy, smiles easy. And rainbows. Wait, I've got these 3 steps. Right? It shouldn't be easy every day. And it's not easy is not the word. It's just that we've simplified the steps. So what happens on the days then that get uncomfortable that seem like a detour, being this is not what I prescribed.
I just want to reiterate what she just said, right? Because this is so powerful. Just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy, right? Remember that. Right. We're going to make it simple, but that doesn't mean we don't have to do the work. You still have to show up. You still have to put in the work. The work is what gets us. The commitment and the C word, consistency, is what gets us. Again, we do this every single day. We are no different than you. We are no different than anyone else out there. We're just doing it consistently. And it's taken us the 25 years that we've been together to boil this all together to help make massive change. And that's our goal. Our goal is to make massive change in this world. And it starts at one individual at a time. It starts with you right there. It's you saying yes. It's you saying, I'm going to be the best version of me. Because again, when you show up the best version of you, you shine that out. You don't have to say anything. You can walk into a room and everything will be different. People will notice you just because of the way you hold yourself. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, and it's how you carry yourself. So just start.
You'll also recognize the need to be defending yourself, the need to be right. You'll take judgment differently. You'll respect people more. And it's all because you're learning and strengthening a sense of awareness about yourself and who you are and what you're meant to be in this world. And you're fueling it from a place of passion, from a place of purpose. And that all comes down to what I like to say, 1 degree of change. Okay. 1 degree of change will change your trajectory. When Scott talks consistency and how we show up, I mean, you can go back to our Facebook page and, when we started launching gyms and stuff, after our years in education and working with kids, we were let's just start bringing our lives out there. Like, let's just start filming ourselves
Put
every
us out
day.
there.
And, like, what if we just teach the world by leading by example? Just like, if the day stinks, like, they'll know the day stinks, but like, we're going to be ourselves and we're going to show we're doing it every single day. So we created this 1 degree of change rule for ourselves that we're like, no matter what, again, we're going to do the push-up today, just the 1. Again, some days maybe we could feel like we could do 10, but our push-up every day became that step towards the goal, because the goal was locked in, because it was clear, because we were fueling it with an I can, I will attitude and an imagining it already done. And then we were moving in the direction of it, everything that you were just saying in terms of just take the action, Laura, put down the book, stop going to the events, like stop going here and there, and just
You say it so much nicer
I know,
than I
it was
do.
just like, it was like, put the book down and go, Laura.
Do.
Decision and go. Decision and go. And you will know if you need to tweak it later, because if it was the wrong decision, okay, like there is no wrong decision. There really is no right or wrong. Again, this is where you start to lose the judgment. This is where you start to create the respect for yourself and others. Because when you're working off the right side of the list, like I said before, like when you're working on the left side of the list on 1 degree of change, like, oh, I'm feeling exhausted, let me do this now, let me do more action. It's exhausting. But when you start doing a 1 degree, when we help you create a plan for yourself off this side of the list, this is what I want my next chapter to look like, smell like, sound like, be like in my everyday, I mean, I can create this world for myself. When you start creating off that, you are going with the flow of creation versus constantly struggling against your old self. And willpower becomes now not a struggle of you versus the old you, but you stepping into the next version of you. Okay. And then when you do that 1 degree of change, even though you want an about face of 90 degrees of change, it adds up. This 1 degree creates a shift like this.
Paradigm.
That puts the coordinates into your goal. And you said, you know what? I thought I wanted to get there this way. Life brought me this way, but I still got there. And I flexed my happiness and I snacked on happy along the way. So I allowed that happiness muscle in and I enjoyed the ride. And I loved on everybody along the way. And I looked left and right, not into comparison, but to say like, look, I'm stepping into my power. You can too. And everyone can do this. So guys, we have these 3 steps. We've boiled it in to so much. I mean, on our platforms now we have, our goal, we sold our gym business. We sold our education business for kids. We had grown things huge. And we're like, how do we make a humongous dent on this planet? Let's just move to the beach and start doing everything we can do virtually, because that's where the world's headed. And we had no idea what we would be doing now to empower kids and organizations and people to really step in to hold that power and be the example yourself. So, we love working with you. I feel like we can spend hours. I wish I could just bring you all, like I said, into our living room and just like talk for hours.
Oh, we kind of do.
We do every single day.
If you start following us and becoming part of our community,
we've got a lot
of
programs and curriculum. We're teachers at heart, so we've built incredible curriculum around how do you create change for yourself in your health? How do you create change for yourself in your life? How do you up-spiral yourself and your kids and all that fun stuff? Thank you, Lindsay, and the team at Fit Pros for hosting this today.
Yeah, thank you so much. Wow, you guys, you've always motivated me. And I just wrote down so many notes from today's session. I am just absolutely moved, and I can tell so many people in the chat are as well. This was absolutely beautiful. And wow. Deborah just asked, when did you guys move? So if you want to chat with her in the chat there. We are running out of time here. So everyone that dialed in today, thank you so much. Please visit lauraandscott.com. They are very active on a Facebook group that I am proudly part of, and tune in for them with all these motivational talks all the time. Scott does such kick butt workouts and so much fun stuff to follow. So really, please share it with your friends and follow them. And in just a moment, there is a slide up there with all of their contact information. So please, please, please get in touch with them. And if you'd like for them to speak at your organization, please get in touch with Fit Pros at hello@fitpros.com. fitpros.com. Visit fitpros.com. And the last thing I'd love to say here is, thank you everyone for taking the time to show up for yourself. As Scott said, you are doing the work to make you stronger for those around you. You're showing up to be the best version of yourself, and you have a voice. You have a voice to fight for what's right. So do it. Do what's in your heart. Make a difference in the world, and it all starts with you. So thank you guys so very much. Tune in later this month. We will be doing a panel on equality, and I would love for you to join us for that. So stay tuned for some more emails from Fit Pros. Everyone have a blessed day. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Bye.